Truthfully, I heard this from like a tarot card reader on YouTube, but I think these women, some of them are very good, obviously, and they channel the Holy Spirit, but something I can't like forget is, and it really reigns true, and it's been making me think a lot, is like there have been like men in your life who have talked so much shit about you, like to so many people for so many years. But the truth is, like, they only ever just wanted you. They've been living this kind of like facade, this grand facade, like this fake reality, this fake life. And I feel like the biggest ego death of all for them is not only do they have to like reconcile their relationship with you, but they also have to like reconcile with all the shit they talked about you for so many years. And I feel like God would have it no other way. It's very interesting because I have this like very karmic ex, and it was like when I met him, like it was like something triggered all of my psychic abilities, and it was like on overload. It was too much. It was way too much. And I got to reconnect with him, and I was like, honestly, I feel like when we met, like we were under hypnosis. I felt like I was severely under hypnosis, and I felt like you were also severely under hypnosis. And he can't deny, like, personal conversation between him and I would be very different from everyone else. But, like, personal conversation between him and I, he's like, yeah, I think you're right. I think this really did happen. But no apology, like, no sorry, no, like, whatever, but just, like, okay, I do believe that you are correct. And then all this, like, worldly kind of, like, oh, we're just gonna, like, pretend like this is just some crazy bitch for so long. And they've been living this life. It's such a fake lie. It's such a facade. It was so fake, and it all came crashing down, like, recently. And now they have to, like, reevaluate and, like, really look at this thing. And it takes a lot of ego death. Like, men need to have this, like, massive ego death. It's like kind of going back to Genesis. Like, you got to have this, like, massive ego death. Like, you didn't listen, you didn't do the thing, and then you were left with this other reality that was being lived out for so many years, and now you're like coming back around. And in personal conversations, it's like very true and very like harmonious, it's very loving, it's very real. But then there's like the other component where it's like, dude, you have talked so much shit about me for so long. Not just you, like he probably didn't, but I feel like everyone around him talked so much shit for so long, and he was just like, yeah, okay, yes, yep. So it's not even like the dude ever did it himself, but people around him were like, isn't this chick fucking crazy? Like, don't you fucking hate her? Yada yada yada. And there's all these like contractual agreements. Yeah, she's crazy. Yeah, I hate her. That was never the freaking case, dude. That was never the case. And it's evident to me it was never the case because he reached out on a yearly basis, reached out on a drunken yearly basis, would reach out. And then now that the entire reality that he was living in has imploded, people are imploding, and I get to have honest conversations. That's one thing. But the other thing is the ego death of facing all of the people that you have entered into these verbal contracts against me for all these years have to come down as well. And I feel like this is the pride that men need to break. Men need to break their pride and like find courage to be like, I don't care what you thought I said I agreed to. It's so interesting. It's so weird. And they're so romantic too. Like, they're mushy. Like, they're not even as mushy as we are. Like, this dude is mushier than I am. Not like, it's not like love bombing, but it's like he remembers these details and these things that I'm like, it's interesting that you remember that and you think about that. It's evident to me that you're so grounded in this reality, but you've been living in this other reality for so long and it all just imploded. And now I get to have an honest conversation. And beyond that, you've been thinking about this for years. But you've kept up this facade with these other people, handlers, weirdos, assholes, monitoring spirits for so long. And they're like, what are you going to say to them? And I feel like this is the biggest pitfall that men have to face is they have agreed to all these verbal contracts with other people for so long about me, over my life, separating us, and it's not at all reality. So you have to make they like probably feel like they have to make reality be reality, but at the same time, their entire reputation, their entire, like, all their verbal contracts, all the money, all where their money comes from, their network, their friendship group, also has to fall with the ego death. Like, it has to die with the ego. So, I do feel for people in this regard, but also they have to do it. You know what I mean? Like, there's no other way. Like, you have to do it. Whether it even turns out to be any kind of romantic love or anything like that, the reality is, like, you have to finally admit to yourself and to other people that I was wrong, they were wrong, he was never wrong, but all these other people were wrong. It's like telling the world you were wrong. I only ever agreed to your stupid contractual verbal agreements out of ignorance, but I never believed it myself. You were all wrong. And I don't know, as a woman, that comes so easy to me. I'm like, I would like go, dude, I would love to do that. I'm such a destroyer. I would love to do that. But I feel like a lot of men are such peacemakers that they're like so hesitant to do it. And I don't understand why. I will probably never understand why, but regardless, it's within God's will. They will do it. This is Revelation 17:8. The beast that wasn't is no longer. They will do it. Because at some point, the emotional crisis is too big and it's too bad that men have got to finally find the courage to tell all these people, you were wrong, you were never right. I was perhaps deceived. Maybe that's the pridefulness is I was deceived. I agreed to stupid verbal contracts for so long. I was deceived because I believed them myself, but I never actually believed them deep down. I never actually believed them. And everything is coming full circle. And there's a very big difference between personal conversations and then the conversation that men are willing to have with the public. But I pray to God they find the courage to have the conversation with the public and let the chips fall where they may. Let people rest where they want or, go to wherever judgment they find themselves in. This is like for a lot of people right now. Big time. Big time. All right, that's it for now. Check you later. Have a good night.